Welcome to our next installment of videos on marketing compliance for title insurance agents. In a previous video, we reviewed the general landscape of regulations that title insurance agents find themselves in when it comes to marketing their businesses. In this video and in the next, we will apply that law and regulation to hosting live marketing events in compliance with New York's Regulation 208. Regulation 208 provides for two safe harbors for promoting live promotional or marketing events. By safe harbor, I mean that the New York State Department of Financial Services has, in promulgating Regulation 208, codified examples of what they see as compliant with the law and with their regulations. While you do not necessarily have to follow the examples of the safe harbors, you may find it difficult to plot a clearly compliant path without doing so. Which of the two safe harbors you use to model your event on simply depends on how tightly targeted you intend to be on who can attend the marketing event. The first safe harbor is for events that are open to the general public, and the second safe harbor is for events that are invitation only. I'd like to start off our discussion of the first safe harbor by reading it to you first, word for word, as it is found as the third item in the compliant marketing expense list found in section 228.2c. This first safe harbor reads as follows. Promotional or marketing events, including complimentary food and beverages that are open to and attended by the general public. What's great about this safe harbor is its simplicity. And why might that be the case? Well, on the spectrum of marketing expenses, hosting events that are open to the public seem to have less potential for being misused as payment for business. However, as with all marketing efforts that comply with Regulation 208, whether someone is trying to adhere to a safe harbor construct or not, the expenses must be neither lavish nor excessive. Those terms are not defined by Regulation 208, so add that as another reason that the safe harbor examples are worth following. And as just mentioned, the event must be open to and attended by the general public. If you meet those simple criteria, then you are free to have general promotional marketing events. But note that the requirement that the event actually be attended by the general public may be more easily planned than it is accomplished. A literal reading of the safe harbor means that compliance specifically calls for success in achieving attendance by the general public, and not just good faith efforts to do so. With that in mind, let's consider some proposed open to the public marketing efforts. A venue such as the one I am at right now might be a perfect place to host a promotional event that is open to the public. We are at the Riverhead Peconic Riverfront, where there is a public pedestrian boardwalk, gazebos, and a park surrounded by the town's business district. There's even a place to tie up your kayak and disembark for a snack. However, suppose a general public event is proposed to be held in the lobby of the building where an agent's most important client does its business. Would such an event be open to the general public, and what would the answer depend on? Moreover, would such an event likely be attended by the general public? Of course, the answer might depend on some special considerations. For example, is this the lobby of the World Trade Center or the Mall of America? Or is it the lobby of a building with only 3 office tenants, one of which happens to be the hosting agent's best client? Another question to consider with general public marketing events is it promoted accordingly with its venue in order to actually achieve public attendance? For example, an event that is open to the public might generally attract a public attendance if it is located in a place where the general public is already likely to be present, such as where I am right now. Conversely, an event could be technically open to the public, but be hosted in a public location that is only going to be visited by the general public if advance notice has been given. For example, an event that is open to the public but held in a small section of a large state park would likely only attract the general public if it was pre-announced in a newspaper. The good news when it comes to hosting promotional events that are open to and attended by the general public is that the rule really is, at its core, pretty simple. And good faith efforts to make an event open to the public is going to get you pretty far and can reinforce one another. For example, publication of a public event generally always is going to strengthen its status as a public event, even if it is hoped that most of the attendance comes from pedestrian traffic. In our next video, we will cover the other type of marketing event that Regulation 208 provides for, which is invitation-only events. The rules for these events are a bit more work to apply, but they also promise the significant advantage of allowing the marketing event to be more closely focused on a particular audience. With the ability to restrict attendance comes added responsibilities, and those added responsibilities would be the focus of our next video.